What up, Andrew?
How's it going, guys? Been a minute. It's fun listen to someone yap about seals.
We're back, baby.
We're back. I just checked the floor on OpenSea. So. I was like, maybe I should. I'm like, maybe I should get in on this action. Only 0.4 ETH. So.
You say, yeah, seals are growing. Okay, let me check that floor.
Yeah, I'm like, NFA 0.41 floor. Time to go sweep. Anyways.
All these words and links we haven't done for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweep,
I'm like
sweep the seal floor.
Yeah. I'm like crypto boomer is anyone who's sweeped NFTs in the last cycle.
Nice, Andrew. You're the founder of Herd, which is a product making it easy to search, understand, and act on chain. I think saw you describe it as it's like Etherscan, Google, and ChatGPT in one app that I think does a decent job at kind of getting the point across. So. Sure, you've been deep in the on-chain data world for a long time. Have been kind of, the data influencer, like the Dune wizard. Kind of all. I think a lot of people kind of look up to you for data insights. So what kind of led from that to finally starting this company?
Yeah. I'm an influencer in the most niche of niche communities. So I got into crypto because I, as many people, believed in composability of like the first ETH Global Hackathon I did was like, hey, you can spin up a safe multi-sig as an escrow with like a oracle who can release funds. And before the funds are released, they can go be deposited into Aave, because if you deposit to Aave, you earn 100 USDC as the hackathon participant. But it's like a very simple example of like, hey, I can just bring these primitives together and build things that I couldn't at like my banking job. And so I was like, great. If every app looks this composable, we're in for a great time. 5 years later, apps are less composable than they were back when I came into this space. It's actually become, in some ways, harder to build crypto apps, just because protocols have gotten more complex. And while there's better infra, it's a lot more choices for a lot of builders to make. And at Dune, I was very focused on the problem of at least making the data side more composable. If you wanted to read data about any contract or set of contracts, it's as simple as writing a Dune query. I say simple in quotes. And I found that even though we were making the read side easier, it was missing the write side. Like writing needs to be as easy as it is easier than like querying something on Dune. So I put in my time on the read layer side, and now I'm taking my chops over to the write side to be like, okay, I have some ideas on how to make general composability on top of contracts much easier for anyone to build with, even if you're not a dev. And yeah, that's really what led to building Herd.
So you guys are about to launch a product I think it's called Trails,
yes.
Which, as I understand it, it makes it easy to build on top of any combination of contracts in crypto and get a one-line copy-paste prompt that you can drop into an AI coding tool.
Yep.
And I think we had Brian Flynn on, or he sent a tweet that said they've been using it for years or for days now, and what used to take them days now takes them hours. So I'm curious, what are you looking to unlock here?
Yeah, of course. So let's say I can actually just show you on my phone, but let's say everyone here is familiar with Clanker, right? Of like you want to go and deploy a token, but typically if you deploy a token or anything else, there's probably a bunch of different things you want to do with that token. You might want to enable splits on the token. And splits is a way of like letting you send funds to multiple different addresses. It's a simple and trusted protocol, but asking like the Clanker team or any other token deployer team to build splits into their app is kind of a heavy ask, because you're asking them to now keep up with the contracts, the backend, the data indexing, etc. And so we're just like, all right, fuck it. I don't know if I can swear. I assume I can swear.
Oh, you can. Don't dare.
No
censorship here.
Let's make it easy to like create a trail, which is a mobile app essentially where I don't know if it's reversed, but it says.
No, we got it. It's good.
Okay. Yeah. Like deploying a split, using that split to deploy a Clanker token, and then claiming the fees from the Uniswap pool that the Clanker token is on. It's like, this is a mini app where I can just like add people to a split, deploy a token, and go and claim fees. But this is really meant to be a sandbox. I can take this and click here and have a one-click copy-paste link into like Cursor, V0, or anything else. And this was a one-shot prompt where I can generate an app that lets me like add recipients to a split, input metadata for a token, and then claim the rewards on it. And it's write and read tied together. It's not like it's only trying to let you do swaps. It'll let you do swaps and then read data about those swaps or who's doing those swaps. Because if you only have write, it's kind of like only useful for a certain set of developers. If you only have read, then you're kind of going after like the Dune persona. It's like if you combine both composably and make it as simple as just a one-click copy paste, I feel like we're going to be able to actually unlock the world of composability that's like become a meme, but I don't think it's a meme. And I think there's many people in the industry who still wish it wasn't a meme. And yeah, we're going to be launching in a few weeks so that anyone can build trails and build on top of trails. So you guys are among the first to see this.
Let's go.
So how does Herd fit into the kind of crypto cogen stack? So you have products like Wayfinder that are kind of going for, lower level smart contract creation. You have apps like O'Hara that are going for the kind of end vibe code and end-to-end app. And it seems like you guys are kind of sitting in the middle of that, but curious.
Exactly in the middle. Yeah, that's a good interpretation. So we work with any contract after it's been deployed. So as soon as it's deployed, we take our data indexer and our LLM processor to fully understand the contract and put it into our Explorer. And yes, we have a whole Explorer built around this, so you can go and find any contract, ask questions about it, etc. And the way you think about Trails is it's kind of like a simplified SDK. It's like an SDK that's tailored towards a specific user journey, right? Because if Zora builds an SDK, it becomes bloated pretty quickly because they need to support all these different ways of integrating and building on Zora and getting data, etc. Versus like, hey, I have a specific user journey where someone wants to do a split content coin that has some amount of vesting, right? And it's a specific journey, and I just want to turn that into an SDK that anyone can easily build on. So then you can plug our SDK, a trail, into O'Hara as a one-line copy-paste. And O'Hara can take care of a lot of the other complex front-end generation. We don't care about that. But we're kind of making the connection from contracts when they're deployed to like when you're actually trying to use them. And you can combine any number of contracts you want. It's not like you can only build a trail for deploying a token, or you can only build a trail for depositing to Aave. We recognize that like interacting on chain is always a series of steps. And you see this on Wayfinder where it's like, hey, finding you the 10 things you want to do. But yeah, we're kind of tackling it in the middle there.
Got it. Do you see there being like a big opportunity of just owning that middle, or how do you kind of conceptualize the longer term opportunity and vision?
Yeah, of course. I think that starting in the middle is the most flexible place. Because if you start only on the front end, like let's say you're doing O'Hara or something like that, then you have to build the integrations yourself of like, this is a token deployment integration. This is a transfer integration. And most teams hit the limit when they hit 20 integrations. It doesn't matter how good the team is. Around 20 integrations is when a lot of things happen to break. Or you can start all the way on the contract side, but like you were fighting with these like Solidity devs who are like Foundry power users, and it's like they're not going to use a code gen that's like, unless it's like integrated into Cursor for like generating contracts. And I think that there's a larger audience that would want to build apps on top of contracts versus like building contracts themselves. Obviously, we can then from the middle go up.
Middle out, baby.
Middle out, baby. But yeah, we're just kind of tackling like we just want to make it easier to build apps, specifically Farcaster mini apps right now first, and we'll expand from there. Whatever users want, they're my boss. So
I love it. So I mean, this is a fairly recent transition into founder mode for you, moving from individual contributor into founder. I'm curious how that process has been, and if there's any lessons there that we can share with folks that may be considering that move.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest change that I think people have to make when they go from either IC or anything to a founder is you just have to make decisions a lot quicker. Like you learn to remove all the other baggage of like, oh, am I going to hit this metric? Am I going to do X, Y, Z? Or, oh, I should talk to this BD person first. You kind of just learn to be like, okay, this is the fastest path to execution. And I can see there is a path. I'm just going to take that path. I'm not going to take like 3 weeks being like, okay, this is a Q2 item. Like what team is doing what, like worrying about other people's roadmaps. Like I have not thought about like any competitors or anyone else's roadmaps or marketing or go-to-market strategy at all. It's purely just like, all right, I just need to make quick decisions and like keep executing. Otherwise, like if you stay in the like a IC mentality, I think it just gets harder to scale that decision making.
Horse races have blinders for a reason.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that's honestly the biggest change. Everything else is still just the fun. Like I'm still just working in the domain I love with people I respect. So like that that hasn't changed.
Yeah, it's a gift, truly.
Yep.
So I guess you're saying it's a couple of weeks out. I'm sure there are a lot of people here who would be excited to get their hands on that. Where can we direct them so they can be first in line?
Of course, yeah. You can just DM me directly on Twitter, Andrew Hong 5297 down there, or on Farcaster at Ilemi, ILEMI. And yeah, DM me, and I'm happy to onboard you personally in a call. I will build trails for you. You just have to tell me like, hey, what contracts like have you been interested in? Like for example, I was talking to Nicholas and be like, hey, when crowdfund, well, when the next crowdfund comes out, we'll help them help you guys build a bunch of mini apps on top. So activating the developer ecosystem, or we don't even call it developer ecosystem, builder ecosystem on top. So if you have a contractor launching or have launched, or you want to build on a contract, just DM me. I will figure everything else out for you or with you.
Are there ideas that people who maybe just want to get their hands dirty, are there ideas that you're dying to see exist, or contracts that you feel like are underappreciated for the the apps that could potentially be built on top of them?
Yeah, I mean, we're starting with the simple ones, which is like if you take, I mean, we have to go with whatever's in the narrative. So like any token launchpad, right? So we work with Zora, Clanker, Doppler, basically any of the top 3 or 4. And there's some basic trails, and I think there's just easy ways that you can add in like either splits or like boost to come before or after, or like, hey, you want someone to buy your token and then like stake it somewhere or vote on something, like put this in a trail and then create an app around it so that when they buy in your app, the next thing they see is exactly like, hey, now go vote on this proposal. Not like, hey, buy that token on Uniswap and then go to Tally over there. And then you're going to have to actually go to this like Discord to see this thing. It's like, no, just kind of put all these things in one experience and like focus on the actual product experience. And that's kind of really what we're trying to hammer home at the start. There's like, the protocols have already all been out there. We're not trying to create some crazy new protocol. Like I think like people who use and build trails are not going to be like, oh yeah, this is a completely new protocol. It's like, no, we're just making it easier to build like creatively on top of existing protocols. So
awesome. And it's only EVM right now?
Yes. Yeah, we are Ethereum aligned. There's many reasons for it. Obviously, I've done data work across Solana, Bitcoin, a lot of other ecosystems. The product we're building makes the most sense on Ethereum just because the EVM and the culture around it has optimized the most for composability. I think, again, it gets laughed at, but it's going to matter more and more. And I think other ecosystems are going to learn very soon why that matters more and more.
It's a great place to leave it, man. Thanks for hopping on with us, and excited to see this live in the world soon.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Cheers, brother.
Peace.